This gardenscape was done in the Allure 7.5 gallon. I did the hardscaping at home with dragonstone, forming a simple path and structure in a single piece of driftwood. This was the first plant that I knew that I had to have in this scape because every garden needs red. Before filling it up with water, I think it really does look like a miniature garden, just after, well, probably after it rained. And here is where this tank resided for this past weekend. It's in the Oase booth, which is a very magical place. I was so excited. After the show, I was allowed to take the entire setup, and it will be residing in our living room. Every garden needs tall grasses, and I'm actually using dwarf hair grass, which I usually do not. It won't do a whole lot. It won't grow very fast because I'm not running CO2, but it sure does look pretty in the back. It will eventually trade places with the Ludwigia in front of it just because of the lighting, and the Ludwigia will grow much taller than the dwarf hair grass. Currently the tallest plant in there is the Hygrophila, which I'm very excited is actually the first time I've ever used this plant, but it adds a lot of nice height next to that tree. There is one of my occupants, a yellow honey gourami. For bushes in this garden, I used S. repens. It's always reminded me of a bush sort of shape anyways, and it fills up a lot of nice space in both the foreground and the midground. And I'm using Alternanthera to fill in kind of for the heucheras or maybe red flowers in a garden. I thought it added a lot of beautiful red. I don't know how red it will stay with the lighting and lack of CO2 that I have in this tank, but I sure think it looks pretty right now. Along the path for what I considered hostas, I'm using Buse. Love Buse, and I think it silted in really nicely along the path. I also have 5 Ember Tetras in here, which you'll get a little glimpse of here and there. Last of all, I thought hydrocodal running along the tree trunk would make a kind of nice little replacement for ivy. The substrate has gotten kind of messed up between the transporting part, but it is a mixture of 3 different things. Scaper soil, black diamond substrate, which is like a little tiny river rocks, and then onyx sand. And the onyx sand, I did leave it kind of messy so you could see the differences. It's not really a black, it's kind of like a dark gray, almost like a bluish gray. I used craft punch and in 2 different shapes of leaves and botanical leaves to get these little floating leaves for the tank. And at the show, even Alex with Tank Tested came up and first thought that they were made out of paper, and I think he even took a picture once he found out they're actually from botanical leaves, but they're super relaxing to watch when you first add them. And keep in mind, depending on the type of leaf you use, determines what color the leaves will actually be. These are actually sea grape leaves, and they turn a very nice red. Well, it was an honor to be able to scape a tank for the Oase booth at Aquashella. Really fun and beautiful supplies that I get to work with, and also to keep it was an amazing surprise. I can't wait to share the next scape that I'm working on, which is actually right to the right of this tank. Thanks so much for watching.